On, so the lighting's a bit better.
Whoa.
There we go. There we go. The guru lighting. Um, awesome, mate. Well, I appreciate you coming on. Do you want to just give a quick kind of rundown introduction, who you are, where you're from, why you're on this
Yeah,
call?
well, that's cool. My name's Rory Hogan, 21 years of age. I've been working with Ben now for around 3 or 4 months since the start of 2025, as I've been keen to kind of properly lock down a skill and source of income online, as I spent around 18 months beforehand dipping dipping my finger in lots of different pies in that sense. So kind of like hoping just to kind of focus on one thing solely now.
Awesome. Yeah. I guess we were sort of lightly working together in January, and then we properly honed in on it the past month or so.
Yeah.
So what got you looking to wanting to get into high ticket sales in the first place?
I suppose for me, the main one was kind of like pretty cliche, but location and financial freedom. I've always been kind of, I suppose the word is entrepreneurial, but I've always kind of been interested in kind of making money and especially in the online space. And yeah, it's something that I've always been interested in. And then kind of stumbling across what you were doing and not only the kind of skills I'd learned through sales, but how it is so translatable kind of later on in life as well for many roles. I kind of felt it was the perfect skills to kind of go all in on and fully hone in.
Mm. And I think because we were talking about this earlier, that it's one of those skills where you learn this now, and no matter what
Mm,
you do, it's going to be something that's going to hold you in good stead.
yeah.
It's going to be beneficial to you no matter what you do. And I think it's really interesting as well with your kind of story is that you tried the whole kind of like starting an agency
Mm,
straight off the bat, just
yeah.
trying going all in on that. So how was that as an
Yeah, it
experience?
was
As
good.
we talked about, quite overwhelming.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of work, but also as well, I think now, if I'd had this skill of sales, it would be a completely different story. Like I look back at some of the calls. Unfortunately, I never recorded them, but I look back at some of the calls now and just think, what on earth was I doing? Like I was
Mm.
going into these things blind, and these were good prospects, good leads. So, I do think, the whole skill of sales is translatable into all areas of business, all areas of life. But the agency was good but hard, lots of work, just completely thrown in the deep end, but good way to learn, and also allowed me to kind of be on this call today, I suppose, because kind of gave me a taste of earning money online, and yeah, it was I
Mm.
liked it, so I'm now here.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's again, you don't regret it because you learn a lot about it, and then you learn about sales, and now you've been working with me since then as well. But yeah, I think you realize when you do something like that, that shit, when you start a business, there's a lot to learn.
Yeah.
And I think that just honing in on one thing and just locking in like you have done now, especially with me, the past month, is a good option for most kind of beginners who are just getting into the online space.
100%.
Um, so yeah, so altogether, I mean, you've been setting now for kind of about 2 or 3 months, is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I mean, the
Yeah.
kind of the setting, to be honest, I did around 2 months of setting, and it was great. Learned all the basic skills, learned lots from it, and was able to make some money online. And then I kind of, when speaking with you, just fully focused on kind of becoming a master of my craft, I suppose, or trying to become as much as possible. Because when you're jumping on interviews, you can, if you're great at sales, you're probably going to get the role. So that was kind of my kind
Mm,
of main idea I had, and yeah, it was really good.
definitely. And that's exactly what you've done. Like I think obviously the strategies helped you massively, but you had the work ethic behind you anyway. And I
Mm.
think that's the thing that I love about high ticket sales is that the job opportunities are there. They are there. Like there's closing opportunities that can make you 5 figures a month, and there's hundreds of them online. There's even setting opportunities that can make you 5 figures a month. Like that's a fact. So if you put in the work to get these roles, you're gonna make the money. You compare that with other business models like agencies. There's so many uncertainties
Mm.
involved. Same with trading, with e-commerce. There's so many different variables. Whilst with sales, the jobs are there. You just have to find them and you have to put in the work.
Yeah,
Um, would you agree with that?
yeah, 100%. And also, I think as well, which kind of not only was I interested in the learning of the skill because it's a high income skill, but also with the agencies, with lots of other things in terms of starting something up, it can be tough, like especially monetary wise. Like you're dependent on so many things. Where with high ticket sales now, and now that I'm working in an offer, it's kind of on me. I'm going to get those certain amount of calls a day. It's kind of on me to kind of keep refining and keep learning my skill. And I quite like how you're held quite accountable,
Mm,
as well as you can pretty much work from anywhere doing it, which is a
mm,
pretty cool aspect and something I think
yeah,
has become a bit of a trend, but many people look for.
yeah. And you're in control, like you said. Like
Mm,
it's down to you whether you make that money or whether you don't.
yeah,
Whilst with other things, it's like there's so many, products, how popular is a
yeah,
product, how much are you spending on ads, all of this kind of stuff. Almost out of your control. And in terms of the roles, then, like since we've been working
yeah,
together, I mean, now we've got you to a point where since we've started working, I mean, the whole aim was to get you a closing role,
yeah,
and it's fair to say we've been pretty successul with that.
yeah.
So how's that been? I think, what is it? You've had about 8 interviews that you've landed through the methods I've taught you.
Yeah, it's been class. It's been interview after interview, and kind of the thing that I've enjoyed most is it's not been a case of, we spoke about it previously. It's not been a case of if but when, which has been quite nice because that means you kind of go into these interviews with quite a healthy mindset. It's not like, oh shit, this I've got to land this one. So yeah, had a lot of interviews all through kind of learning skills through that you've taught. So the Loom videos have been really successful. Just basically sending out Looms to hundreds of different people. That's through Instagram DM, Facebook, LinkedIn. Also just kind of the help with kind of finding good communities on Facebook to join. It's been really good. But I suppose, the the easy bit, I suppose, is kind of getting your foot in the door. The hard bit is kind of opening it, and that's something that we've worked really hard on. Just interview prep, how you come across, and just kind of the skills. I think that's been really
Mm.
beneficial and something that all of us in the community have taken away.
Definitely. I appreciate that. And in terms of the roles, so I think it's been the past couple of days
Yeah.
you've been offered 3 different roles for closing. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, so the other thing as well for me is I really was gunning for a UK role just because it fit with my lifestyle and kind of what I enjoy. And there's so many American roles, and I had some really cool interviews and did get some pretty cool opportunities, but I was kind of holding off for a UK offer, and then yeah, in the space of the last 48 hours, three have turned up, so I'm pretty chuffed.
Mm. And not just any 3. You got two 7-figure companies that are doing hundreds of thousands a month, where the opportunity is there for you to now go in and make a load of cash, which I have
Mm,
no doubt you're going to do.
yeah,
And it's not to mention as well that you're now gone full into this, dropped out of uni,
yeah,
um, burnt the boats. And I think that's key. You've got to burn the boats. As soon as you burn the boats, literally a week later, you've now got a job that has the potential to make you upwards, maybe not 10K straight away, but it's definitely
yeah,
got the potential to make that in that amount of in a month.
yeah,
That
100%.
opportunity's there now.
Yeah.
And that's almost a sign from God saying, yeah, this was the right call.
Yeah, it's extreme. Like I'm buzzing. I think for me, the whole uni thing, I loved it, but I just can't wait. And also as well, what's supposedly a little bit different is, I'm in my second year. I've got a term and a bit left in the next year, and but I look at it, the skills I'm going to learn now through sales, working in a business, networking are gonna outweigh however many years of education, in my opinion. So I'm excited for what's to come. I think it was definitely the right call for me, and it kind of meant that I had my back against the wall a little bit. But yeah, it's paid off, and looking forward to seeing what it beholds in the future.
100%. Yeah, you got to put your back against the wall. Like
Mm.
that's exactly when good things happen. And for you as well, obviously you were dabbling in a bit of the kind of high ticket sales space, but since we've been working together this past month, mainly where we've really been locked in, like what do you think has been the biggest? What do you think have been like the biggest thing that's made the massive difference that we've like gone leaps and bounds in the past month
Yeah,
compared to what you were doing before?
I think it's been kind of refinement. It's been the script from discovery to objection handling. I think for me that's been the biggest thing because you know most stress and kind of anxiety comes from lack of preparation. So I do feel like when I've been going into these interviews, I've been not only well prepped for the interview, but also in terms of my skills and the training that we've been given with the script, I feel well prepped. So that's definitely been a massive thing. But also the community. I mean, we have 3 calls a week, and these are all lads, trying to achieve the same thing and all in a similar boat. So it's quite good to be able to have, like-minded people that you can always call up on. I think that's been a massive thing as well.
100%. I like it's huge. It was massive for me when I started. Like having a group of people who you can lean on, who are all going through the same things you're going through, things that I've been through. Like, because again, it's not a walk in the park. People make out like you can just live this life with high ticket sales, but it does take time. It does take effort on your
Mm.
end. And I don't want to come across that it doesn't. And I don't think I haven't done that with you guys either. But it's just having people who are in the trenches with you, who are going through the same things. I think that it's so important to have that, because it just helps so much. You're not just facing these problems on your own. Yeah. So to round up, if someone watching this video, thinking about wanting to get into sales, wanting to start working with me, like what would you say to them? What would be your advice?
What would be my advice? I think I'll just say take the risk. You got to do it. No risk, no reward. And I'm now in an opportunity after 2 or 3 months in this space, learning that I will have location and financial freedom, and that's the coolest thing ever. I'm 21, hoping to go work in some cool places and kind of meet with some cool people, and I just think it's a great stepping stone. I think if you want to try and build something online, the best thing you can do is just focus on one thing. Do one thing and do it really well. Don't try and do lots of different things, because I tried that and it didn't really work. So yeah, I would say take a leap of faith, join the community,